Welcome back, LPN Junior here.
And today, I have another challenge lock. I'm on a little bit of a kick this week, challenge lock kick this week. So I'll be making another one in this video, and this will go up whenever I send it out to someone. So I'm going to show you a little bit more of the process this time. I got this old weird cylinder from a locksmith, no key, so part of the video is going to be how I'm going to make a key. The core happened to fit this number 66 key from Home Depot, or the plug did, but it's a little too tall. You see that little sliver there? So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of sand that down, file it down, until it fits into the cylinder. So we'll be getting rid of that surface there, and then I'm going to use this little needle file to try and cut the grooves for the key. So let's see if I can. Oh, it's a little too, doesn't quite fit in there. So I'll get a finer Sharpie to mark the spots where I'm going to file the grooves for the key, and I'll come back after I've made some progress. Stay tuned. Alright, I have filed down the bottom of that key a little bit, so let's see if it fits now. Yep, fits nicely. So you can see it turns just fine. Now this is kind of a weird cylinder, weird lock. So that little square guy right there, that guy, that's the bottom of the key. And this actuator gets pinned onto the plug like that, but the key kind of interferes. You see how it's pushing it up? So I'm going to file down this little bit of the key here. So that little bit of the key there. So hopefully we can not have any interference when we put this together. So I'll go ahead and try that and we'll come back. Alright, I'm back from the file. You see that little notch out of the key? That should let the actuator fit. So now the actuator fits on there without pushing the key out. So the next thing I need to do is start cutting this key to fit my key pins. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to darken the top of that key and see if I can mark it by scratching. I'm just kind of scratching at the top of the key in every chamber. And how well you can see that, but I've scratched away the Sharpie everywhere that I need to cut my key. So I'm going to start, so I'll start filing this down and see if we can get a key that works. Alright, so I've filed the first little bit of notches for this key. So now I'm going to go one by one and just file it down until the appropriate key pin fits. So I'll come back when I've done the first one. So I've got the first 2 cuts made. The pins fit nicely, so I'm going to go ahead and finish that up, and then I'll start doing my other mods. Alright, so I finished the key. You can definitely tell it's handmade by somebody who doesn't really know what they're doing, but that's okay, because it seems to work. So I will pin this up real quick. And demonstrate that to you. So there you go. All the key pins line up pretty well. Fits in the core. Let's put the driver pins in. Some of these driver pins are really pretty small. I think they have to be that way because of the fact that the Bible is so short on this particular lock. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's try to put the springs in there. Oh, take the key out. See if it locks. Yeah. Let's try to put the springs in there and kind of simulate it being all the way together just by using some tape on top of the Bible. Alright, I think I will spare you guys next time I put this back together. But let's I'm just going to put a little piece of tape so it'll act kind of like it's all the way back together. Alright. Hey. Oh. Well, that was a pretty newbie thing to do. I'll find those pins and make a couple mods, and then we'll be back. Before I change anything too much, I'm going to go ahead and pick it, just so we can do a before and after. So this is my Peterson hook in 25 thousandths, hook 1, and a bottom of the keyway tool. So let's go. One, it's loose. Two's loose, 3, maybe a click. Click on 4, and it's open. So this lock tends not to need very many of the pins to be picked, and I think some of those short driver pins are too short, maybe. So before I come back, or next time I come back, before I make new driver pins, I'm going to see how they fit into the plug. So I'll be right back. Alright, we're back again. So let's take a look at where my driver pins sit in the plug. Well, I'm not sure what to say. It sure didn't feel like I had to pick all the pins. But from this, it appears that they should all need to be picked. So I'll go ahead and start making a couple modifications and see if it gets harder.
Alright, so the first thing I'm doing is I am threading the chambers in the Bible and the plug of the lock. I'm going to do all of them. And I'm threading both of them at the same time right now, both the Bible and the plug. So this will just, I've got this fast forwarded, so hopefully we can, get through the mods pretty quickly. Alright, now I am making a threaded driver pin, so you can see I'm measuring the original driver pin with my calipers and holding on to the piece I'm cutting off with the Dremel, and now I'm going to grind it to length, first of all to remove that burr that you get when you cut something off with the Dremel, and then also I am getting it to final length so it fits in the Bible properly. Yeah, pretty basic, pretty simple. Okay, here I'm making other modifications to the pins. So first off, we're making a couple torpedo key pins. So I'm chucking the pins up into the drill press, and then I'm going to use a triangular needle file to try to put that torpedo shape on the top of the key pin. It's pretty tricky to get a hold of the pin properly in this kind of chuck. And obviously, the file is not super precise, but it seems to get the job done. So you'll get a close-up look of these in a little bit. Alright, now we're making the T-pin, so same technique as before, but this time with a 90-degree cut to get that T-pin profile. Okay, so now here's a quick overview of what I did to the lock, and a close-up of the mods. So the first thing I did is threading the chambers. I threaded both the Bible and the plug, and the threads are timed together, and that's important for working with driver pin number 2, which is threaded. So in 1 and 4, for the key pins, we have the torpedo pins that I made earlier. So here's a close-up of those. The idea being if you overset the pin, it'll be harder to fix it. And here's the torpedo in 4. Then the driver in 2, as I said, is that piece of threaded rod you saw earlier. And it really binds up nicely with the threading in the chamber 2 there. And the last one is a T-pin. These are all pretty rough, especially this T-pin. It's not really 90 degrees, but hopefully it should still mess up the feel for when you get that pin set, and that's in chamber 3. So there's the mod, and I think next I'm gonna put it back together and try to pick it. So enjoy.
Alright, got this thing put back together. One final test with the key. It's a little stiff now, but still works. So let's try to pick it. Same tools as before. It's my first time trying to pick it, so let's see what happens. Okay. Nothing on one. Click on 2. Click on 3. Click on 4. I can't reach my picking very well anymore. Maybe before I was getting a bunch of sets just by getting my pick in. Alright, well, I'll leave that there for this video. If I ever do get it picked, I'll leave a little annotation before I send it out. But I wouldn't be surprised if I don't. I seem to be pretty good at making things that I myself cannot pick. Whether this is actually hard for someone else, I guess we'll see. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead, I think I'm going to name this the Terrible Tease, because we've got threading and threaded pins, T-pins, and torpedo pins. So I'm going to call it the Terrible Tease. So that's how I've been making challenge locks so far. In this case I had to make a new key, but I'm not going to say it's the right way, but it seems to have had decent results. Go ahead and check out the Lockpicking subreddit and Lockpickers United Discord, and have a nice day. Thanks for watching.